Alright, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm kidding. Yeah, don't keep my water bottle. Okay. Yeah, I'm recording right now, so we'll be diving into lesson six. I'm sorry for my last episode, last lesson. I mean, lesson five. I had a call from like an old friend. She called me in the middle of recording. I couldn't just decline because it's been a minute since I talked to her, or it's been long since we spoke. So let's dive into lesson six, and then we'll try to finish week four. At least week five, we have like seven lessons. I did check it out, and we got it yesterday later. So now we'll be doing JavaScript functions. We are continuing with that. Program a little further. Let's make it a little more exciting. Let's make it that when you click on. Okay, let's go open. For we created functions HTML. Let's go open functions HTML. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's in some documents, right? Learning JS. After all this, I'll make a separate video on how to document your work on GitHub. I will do that, guys. Don't panic. Don't panic. Okay. Sure. On the heading the first time, it changes the text. And when you click it the second time, it changes back to the original text. Now, as you can see here, as I'm refreshing my browser, when I click it the first time, something happens. Obviously, the text changes. But when I click it the second time, nothing happens. It just remains as is awesome. So what we're going to need to do is, we're going to need to say something like this. If the text is JavaScript, change it to is awesome. And if it is set as is awesome, change it back to JavaScript. Now we're going back to conditionals. If you remember from the previous lesson, we looked at JavaScript conditionals. We looked at the if statement, the if-else statement. Now we're going to use an if-else statement here. And that if-else statement will go right inside there. And we'll say something like this. If Okay. This dot shift. Whoa, what are you doing? If this dot in a HTML. Now the keyword this means this element, this particular element that we are talking about. Right? So we're going to say if this dot in a HTML is equal to a JavaScript. Okay, let's clear this one up. JavaScript uppercase S. Then this dot in a HTML is equal to, and we'll use single quotes again. HTML is equal to is okay, that's it. Okay, let's do this. To is small case is awesome. All right, let's see if we've got that right. So we've got if this dot in a HTML is equal to, see, this is the comparison operator. This is not
the assignment operator. Hence, we're using double equals to signs. So if the value of this element, which is the heading, the H1, is set at JavaScript, then change its value. See the curly braces? This is if the condition inside there is true, then do this. So what is it going to do? It's going to change this dot in HTML to is awesome. Done. Should be fine. Shouldn't have any errors. Back to the browser. JavaScript. Click on it. Yay, it works. No issues there. Alright. Now we haven't done anything really different. But what's coming next is going to make all the difference. We're going to put in an else. Right? Else this dot inner HTML is equal to JavaScript. Alright, let's just double check our code. We've got the curly brace open, curly brace close. This dot inner HTML is equal to single quotes open, single quotes close, JavaScript in the middle. This should be fine. Alright.
Wait. Okay, this should be fine, right? Control S. Whoa, not Control A, don't Control A.
JavaScript.
Control S.
Alright, let's double check our code. We've got the curly brace open, curly brace close. This dot inner HTML is equal to single quotes open, single quotes close, JavaScript in the middle. This should be fine. Alright, let's refresh this guy and see what happens. Click the first time, it's awesome.
Okay.
The second time, goes back to JavaScript.
Yeah.
JavaScript is awesome, JavaScript is awesome, JavaScript is awesome. So that will keep changing.
Don't mind the
blue
highlight.
Is fantastic in a sense that it works.
Just highlighting.
Look at this line. Look at line 6. It's terrible. It's huge. It's confusing. It's hard to read. And it's error prone. You can make any number of errors in there, and it's a real schlep to actually go and debug this. Wouldn't it be nice if we could condense this into maybe just one statement? Now, this is where functions shine. This is where functions come in. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go inside our script tags, and we're going to create a new function. We're going to give it a name, or whatever name you want. What is this function doing? It's changing the text, right? So we'll call it function change text. See, you can give a function just about any name you want. Obviously, there's some rules around naming your functions, which you can see in the notes for this video. I'm not going to get into all of those rules. But just like variables, you can name your functions just about anything you want. But here's some advice. Name your function something meaningful so that when you do try to call it the next time, then you'll remember the name of the function because it's related to what the function actually does. Alright, so this function is changing text. So this is how you declare a function. You use the keyword function, you put in the name, and you put in open and close brackets. Now these open and close brackets are not there for nothing. They serve a purpose, which you will see a little later. And then you open your function with curly braces and you close it with curly braces. And everything that needs to be within this function, all the instructions that need to be carried out when this function is called, goes in between these curly braces. It's that simple. All right. So we've now just created a function. It's an empty function. What we're going to do next is we're going to take this entire if statement. We need to be careful to copy everything between these curly.
Okay. We're just gonna select from if like this, and then we go that way. We don't select the quotation marks. Okay. Ish. Now it's difficult because I can't see. Oh, it's difficult. Okay, it's gonna be easier when I do this. Now let me select from. What am I doing? Yo, he said copy or cut. I'm just gonna copy first. Okay, let me just copy get backwards and let's see what happens. It's easier when I do it backwards. Control C.
These double quotes. On click is equal to open double quotes, close double quotes. And that's the only thing that needs to remain. So we copy that and we cut it.
Control C.
Command X or
and
Control X, and you cut it. And then we're going to take that and we're going to paste it inside the function. Alright, so let's just double check this again. On click is equal to open double quotes, close double quotes. And everything else is gone inside our function between the curly braces of the function. Now let's neaten this up. So if the stuff inner HTML is equal to JavaScript,
then we'll put our cursor here, press enter, and then we are going to put our cursor also after. Okay, that's awesome. I'm gonna put it here, enter, and then
see what I'm doing?
oh, okay, wait, Control Z. I think he did this. Enter. Okay, yeah, he did that, and then here said enter.
This is proper coding now. This is how you keep your code neat and readable. Now, with a small program like this, it's fine if your code is a little compressed. But as your programs get bigger, and trust me, they will get really big. You're going to be looking at apps that have thousands of lines of code. The last thing you want is code that's so complex to read that you have to go through it with a magnifying glass. You want to make it as easy for yourself as possible. So in this case, look at how we've arranged our code, right? So you've got your script tags, and then you've got the function keyword, and the name of the function, open close brackets, and then we've got our curly braces. All right. Now see what we've done here. We've indented the keyword function. So everything inside your script tags, we've indented it away from the margin, a little further away than your script tags. Just like we did with HTML previously, now we're doing the same thing with JavaScript. So all the children of the original script tags are indented a little further away from the margin. And then the children of the children, which is now if. The if statement is a child of the function tag. This one is indented even further away. And then the if also has a child, which is this stuff in a HTML, indented even further away. All right, and then you'll notice that we've got the curly braces on the same line as the if, and then we've got the stuff in HTML. This is followed by else, and then this. Now, this is one of the ways of arranging your code. There's a couple of ways, but it's a matter of preference. This is just the way that I prefer. All right, so look what we've done now. We've taken all of that nonsense that was inside there and we've put it into a neat little function.
The nonsense.
But then, how do we make it happen? Because when you click on this heading, it's going to do absolutely nothing because inside there it says nothing, it's blank. And that's where the function comes in. We'll call the function right there. So we'll say onClick is equal to change text, open, close brackets. Whenever you're calling a function, you always call it with the open and close brackets. Otherwise, JavaScript just won't recognize that. It won't know what that is. But when you put in the open and close round brackets, then JavaScript recognizes it as a function call. It looks for that function down the line, it finds it, and then it will run your function, and then your code will work. Let's go and try this out. Refresh, JavaScript. Okay, my code didn't work. My code is not working. Panic. Okay, so now what could be wrong with this code? When you're looking at this code, and this is a nice way to learn about debugging your JavaScript programs. What we did was we took the content from there, we cut it and we pasted it in here exactly as is. And in there we used the keyword this. All right. Now this referred to the H1 tags, and when this was inside the H1 tags, JavaScript recognized the keyword this as referring to the element in which this was found. So this means this tag that I'm currently inside. But when the code is moved out of the H1 tag, when it's moved out of the element, then JavaScript doesn't recognize what this is anymore, because this code doesn't sit inside there anymore. So this doesn't mean anything. What we need to do is we're going to need to identify this element using, yes, you guessed it, get element by ID. So first things first, we're going to need to give this guy an ID. So ID is equal to heading. All right. And then here, we're going to use document
Control Z
get element by ID
is equal to Control Z needs to be back, and then let's say here is equal to heading.
All right. And then here, we're going to use document dot get element by ID. What did we?
Document dot get element by ID.
We call that guy, we call him heading.
And then I think we have to open like some sort of another curly brackets, right? And then we say heading okay, we forgot to quote it. Heading
in a HTML. If documents.getElement by ID heading.innerHTML is that. So this is how we're going to call this guy. All right, so I'm going to copy this.
Okay, now let's copy it. Control C.
And I'm going to paste it wherever there is the keyword this.
Control
all right,
V.
so let's double check our code. If document
Control V and Control S.
Dot get element by ID heading is heading there. Dot inner HTML is equal to JavaScript, then change document.getElement by ID in HTML2 is awesome. Otherwise, change document.getElement by ID heading.innerHTML, change it to JavaScript. Alright, I've saved it. Let's refresh. Let's see what happens. Fantastic. It works. Can you see that? Alright, so you've had your introduction to functions here. Now you know what a function is, and you know what's the use of a function. What is the benefits of using functions?
Yeah, guys, this is the end of lesson 6. So I'll see you again on lesson 7.